Very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back after a long break. So I hope you guys are doing good, and I hope you guys have solved all the questions of the chapters what I have discussed. So now, today, let's start with the last chapter, a very important chapter from examination point of view. You will find question on marginal costing in every attempt. The chapter is very good, very easy, and very interesting. I'll be putting up few questions in front of you in the live session. So do focus on the concepts, whatever I am discussing. Again, there are no formulas in cost accounting. So I'll be discussing all the concepts behind the formulas that are given in the study material. So focus on the concepts, focus on what I'm teaching, and then I'll be discussing few practical questions. And apart from this, I'll be putting up few questions in front of you in the coming sessions. So once again, very good morning, Naina. Very good morning, Pawan. Good morning, Almas. Good morning, Rohan. Good morning, Anil. So, Anil, it is cma-inter@icai.in. cma-inter@icai.in. So, good morning, everyone. There are a few new students what I can figure out. Good morning, Julie. So, now let's start with this chapter, marginal costing. Again, when talking about this chapter, it's a part of management accounting and it assists management in decision making. It has nothing to do with cost calculation. So, when talking about marginal costing, it's a part of management accounting and it assists management in decision making. I hope it is clear, Mr. Anil. cma-inter@icai.in. Now, before starting with this chapter, let me discuss few terms. The first term what I want to discuss is marginal cost. When talking about marginal cost, it is the cost of producing additional unit. It's the cost of manufacturing additional unit. When talking about marginal cost, it is the cost of manufacturing one additional unit. So let's say if I'm manufacturing 10 units and the cost is 100 rupees. Now let's say if I manufacture 11 units and let's say the cost is 110 rupees. So that additional 10 rupees is what? My marginal cost. Let's say I'm manufacturing 10 units and the cost is 100. And if I manufacture 11 units, let's say the cost is 110. Now in this case, rupees 10 will be what? My marginal cost. Another example, let's say I'm manufacturing 100 units and the cost is 1000 rupees. And if I manufacture 101 units and let's say the cost is 1050 rupees. In that case also, rupees 50 is what? My marginal cost. So when talking about marginal cost, what is marginal cost? The cost of manufacturing one additional unit is marginal cost. Another term what I want to discuss is my variable cost. When talking about variable cost, very simple, guys. The cost that varies according to production. The cost that varies according to production is what? My variable cost. Let's say I'm manufacturing 10 units. The cost is 100 rupees. If I manufacture 500 units, the cost will be 5,000 rupees. If I manufacture 1 lakh units, the cost will be 10 lakh rupees. And if I manufacture 0 units, the cost will be 0. So when talking about variable cost, what is variable cost? The cost that varies according to production. The cost that varies according to production. When talking about the examples of variable cost, we can say material, labor, and all the variable overheads. So when talking about variable cost, ये वो cost है जो production के हिसाब से vary करता है. If there is more production, more will be the variable cost. अगर production कम हो रहा है तो variable cost हमारी कम होगी, और अगर हम लोग units manufacture ही नहीं कर रहे हैं तो कोई variable cost होगा ही नहीं. So when talking about the examples, direct material, labor, and all the variable overheads are the part of my. Now these words will be used interchangeably, that is variable cost and marginal cost. These words will be used interchangeably throughout the chapter. So in general, in 99% cases, marginal cost और variable cost एक ही होता है. One more time what I want to discuss is fixed cost. When talking about fixed cost, the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. ये वो कॉस्ट है जो हमेशा फिक्स रहती है, चाहे आप कितने भी यूनिट्स मैन्युफैक्चर करो, द कॉस्ट विल रिमेन फिक्स्ड. Let's say I'm manufacturing 10 units and the cost is 10 lakh. If I manufacture 5,000 units also, the cost will be 10 lakh. If I'm manufacturing 1 lakh units also, the cost will be same, 10 lakh. And very important, if I manufacture 0 units also, the cost will be 10. So the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production is what? My fixed cost. When talking about the examples of fixed cost, let's take a very basic example. I have taken a premise on rent to manufacture, let's say, these marker pens. I have taken a premise on rent to manufacture these marker pens. Now the per month rent is rupees 1 lakh. So annually my rent is how much? 12 lakh. Now very important, guys, if I manufacture 1 pen, 10,000 pens, 1 lakh pens, or whether I manufacture no pens at all, I have to pay the landlord rupees 12 lakh as my rent. Landlord is not going to listen that how much pens I am manufacturing. He is not at all bothered about how many pens we are manufacturing. He is concerned about rent only. So irrespective of the pens manufactured or units manufactured, my 12 lakh, the rent will always be constant. If I manufacture or if I don't manufacture also, I have to pay the landlord the rent of rupees 12 lakh. So herein we can say rent is an example of fixed cost. Yes, well said, Pooja. So we can say rent salaries, insurance, depreciation. So the difference between variable cost and fixed cost is that fixed cost, irrespective of production, we have to pay. But when talking about variable cost, the examples are material. Let's say I'm the manufacturer of these marker pens. Now, these marker pens are made up of plastic and ink. If we are manufacturing more marker pens, the more the plastic and ink will be required. If we are manufacturing less marker pens, the less the marker and plastic will be required. And if we are not manufacturing any marker pens, no plastic and ink is required. So variable cost तभी लगेगा जब आपके कुछ units manufacture होंगे. But when talking about fixed cost will remain same irrespective of production. Anyone having any doubts or queries? Anyone having any doubts or queries? Fixed cost, variable cost, marginal cost. I hope it is clear, Pavan Kumar. Okay. So I request you guys to please copy this explanation. We'll be using these words interchangeably, Rohan. Pavan Kumar, Shiv Chaudhary. Yes, more or less it is same, only the cost of, see, again, marginal cost also, again, it keeps on changing as far as the, I mean, depending upon the units. So these words will be used interchangeably. Shiv Chaudhary, when talking about fixed cost, the cost that remain fixed irrespective of production. ये वो cost है, चाहे कितना भी units manufacture करो, ये cost हमेशा fixed ही रहेगी. When talking about variable cost, ये वो cost है जो production के हिसाब से vary करेगा. See, very important, guys. First of all, please copy. Now, see, very important, guys. Most of the company have to shut down their business. The major reason is what, that they are not being able to recover their fixed cost. कई कंपनीज को अपना बिजनेस बंद करना पड़ता है बिकॉज ऑफ फिक्स कॉस्ट, बिकॉज फिक्स कॉस्ट रिकवर करना इज द मेजर हेडेक फॉर द कंपनीज. बिकॉज व्हेन टॉकिंग अबाउट वेरिएबल कॉस्ट तभी लगेगा जब व्हेन वी आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एनी यूनिट्स. So if we are not manufacturing any units, or if we are not producing any units, there will be no variable cost, but the fixed cost is going to remain unchanged, be it if we are manufacturing 1 units or 1 lakh units or whatever it is. So let's take an example. I'm the manufacturer of this marker pen. Now, when talking about the variable cost to manufacture this marker pen, I repeat again, guys, do pay attention. When talking about the variable cost, that is plastic, ink, and packing and finishing, it costs ₹8. So ये marker pen बनाने के लिए मुझे ₹8 variable cost लगता है. Now, when talking about the selling price, The selling price of this marker pen is rupees 10. So I'm manufacturing this marker pen at a variable cost of rupees 8 and I'm selling this marker pen at the rate rupees 10. So after recovering the variable cost, I'm saving rupees 2. Now, let's say I'm paying a fixed cost of rupees 1 lakh. So what will be my major task? That at least I should manufacture that much of pen that at least I should be able to recover my fixed cost of rupees 1 lakh. Can you guys tell me how many pens should I manufacture and sell so that I will be able to recover my fixed cost of 1 lakh? Waiting for your answers. Very good, Neeraj. Correct answer. I repeat again, I'm manufacturing this marker pen at a variable cost of rupees 8. Variable cost of rupees 8. And I'm selling this marker pen at the rate rupees 10. So per pen, I'm saving rupees 2. So what will be my first object? That at least do rupee karke, at least I should earn that much that I should be able to recover my fixed cost. And let's say my fixed cost is 1 lakh rupees. So can you guys tell me how many pens should I manufacture and sell so that at least I'm able to recover my fixed cost of 1 lakh rupees? So very good, Rohan. Answer is correct. Naina, very good answer is correct. Neeraj Patel, Julie, Tanu, everyone answer is correct. Okay, Mohit, very good. Pooja, very good. Anil, very good. Pawan Kumar, incorrect answer. Tanu, very good. Answer is correct. So, as you guys said, 1 second. Samrendra, very good. So, I got answer from everyone that, sir, if we manufacture and sell 50,000 pen, we will be able to recover our fixed cost. Because per pen, I'm recovering rupees 2. If I manufacture and sell 50,000 pen, we'll be able to recover our fixed cost of rupees 1 lakh. Now, so when talking about this 50,000 pens, what is this 50,000 pen? We can say in our language, it is break even point. That is, if we manufacture and sell 50,000 pen, okay, हम लोग कुछ भी profit नहीं earn करेंगे, but again, there will be no loss. So 50,000 pen is the point where we neither lose nor we will earn. But at least, I mean, we are safe that अगर हमें कुछ नुकसान नहीं हो रहा. So 50,000 pen in our language, we call it as break even point. Let's say if we are manufacturing and selling 50,000 10 pens. So 10 pen extra over and above break even. So how much will be my profit? 10 pen extra we are selling, 2 rupees per pen, 20 rupees will be my profit. So these all things we will be discussing throughout the chapter. When talking about marginal cost, it's the cost of manufacturing additional unit. When talking about variable cost, the cost that varies according to production. In this chapter, these words will be used interchangeably. There is a very minor difference between marginal cost and variable cost, Pooja. So anyone else having any doubts? So in the example, if we are selling 51,000 pens, 1,000 pen extra after recovering my fixed cost. So 1,000 into 2, 2,000 rupees will be my profit. Mohit Singh, trust me, once we are done with this chapter, you will say that it's the easiest chapter of the syllabus. The point is, I think you are focusing more on formulas rather than memorizing the concepts. So try to memorize the concepts, try to learn the concepts what I'm teaching. Trust me, you will find that this chapter is the easiest chapter of the syllabus. So now let's start with this chapter, marginal costing. Now, when talking about this chapter is based on 5 terms. sales, if we subtract variable cost from sales, we will get contribution. Let's say my sales is 200, my variable cost is 120, therefore my contribution will be how much? 80. Less my fixed cost. My fixed cost is how much? Rupees 40. Let's say my fixed cost is rupees 40. So my final profit will be how much? Rupees 40. So sales, one second. So sales minus variable cost is contribution. Contribution minus fixed cost is what? My profit. So when talking about the formula for contribution, we can say, what is the formula for contribution? How we will get contribution? Sales में से आप variable cost less कर दीजिए, we will get contribution. Very good. There is one more formula. Let's say, how can we calculate contribution? Can you guys tell me? Is there any other way to calculate contribution? Is there any other way to calculate contribution? Waiting for your answers. Very good, Neeraj. Correct answer. Very good, Julie. Correct answer. I want everyone to participate in the session. Do post whatever running in your mind. Yes, very good, everyone. I'm just asking what I've discussed till now, Mr. Anil. So we can say if we add profit in fixed cost, if we add profit in fixed cost, again we will get contribution. So 40 plus 40 is also 80. So anyways, आपको ये सब प्लस माइनस करना आना चाहिए. This chapter is based on these 5 terms. इसके अलावा इस चैप्टर में कुछ भी नहीं है. So this chapter is based on 5 terms. You should know how to work on these 5 terms. If you are thorough with these 5 terms, you can solve any question on marginal costing. So this is all what about contribution, the basic statement, that is sales minus variable cost. We call it as contribution. Contribution में से अगर fixed cost less कर देंगे तो we will be getting profit. Now, first point, what the examiner generally do ask is profit volume ratio. The first question what the examiner generally do ask is profit volume ratio, that is PV ratio. पहला क्वेश्चन जो एग्जामिनर आपसे हर केस में पूछेगा वो क्या पूछेगा? पीवी रेशियो, प्रॉफिट वॉल्यूम रेशियो. Pawan Kumar, I said 40 plus 40, that is fixed cost plus profit. So the first question what the examiner is going to ask you is profit volume ratio. Now what this profit volume ratio is, profit volume ratio क्या बोलता है कि contribution जो है हमारी सेल्स का कितना परसेंटेज है. What is the percentage of contribution to sales? जो भी हम contribution calculate करते हैं वो हमारी सेल्स का कितना परसेंटेज है. So what is PV ratio? We can say the percentage of contribution to sales. Contribution जो है हमारी सेल्स का, what is the percentage of contribution to sales? So here in my contribution is how much? 80 divided by my sales is 200 into 100. So contribution divided by sales into 100 is what? My PV ratio. So what is the meaning of PV ratio? It says, yes. So When talking about PV ratio, profit volume ratio, it says the percentage of contribution to sales. Contribution जो है मेरी sales का कितना percentage है. So herein, if my contribution is 80 and if my sales is 200, if my contribution is 80 and if my sales is 200, how much percent? 40%. सो व्हाट इज पीवी रेशियो? पीवी रेशियो क्या बोलता है कि कंट्रीब्यूशन जो है मेरी सेल्स का कितना परसेंटेज है. द परसेंटेज ऑफ कंट्रीब्यूशन टू सेल्स वी कॉल इट एज पीवी रेशियो. सो हियर इन my contribution is 80, my sales is 200, so we can say my contribution is 40% of sales. We can say my contribution is 40% of sales. Let's say my contribution is 20,000. Let's take one more example. If my contribution is 20,000 and my sales is 1 lakh, what will be my PV ratio? Quick, guys. My contribution is 20,000. My sales is 1 lakh. मेरा contribution 20,000 है. My sales is 1 lakh. What will be my PV ratio? Very good, Julie. Very good, Mahalakshmi. Very good, Tanu. Very good, Neeraj. Very good, Almas. Very good, Prem. Very good, Samrendra. Mr. Mohit, do post your answers. Pooja, it is incorrect. Rohan, Samrendra, Mr. Mohit, do post your answers. Then only you'll be able to understand. Very good, Samohini. Very good, Pooja. Everyone, very good. Pooja, very good. Still waiting for your answer, Mohit. Very good, Banipreet. I repeat again, my sales is 1 lakh. My contribution is 20,000. So what will be my PV ratio? Very simple. It will be 20%. It means that my contribution of 20,000 is 20% of 1 lakh. That is, my sales is 1 lakh. So my first question was very simple, guys. My contribution was 20,000. My sales was 1 lakh. So my PV ratio was how much? 20,000 divided by 1 lakh in 200. So 20%. Let's say the next question. My sales is 5 lakh. My sales is 5 lakh. My PV ratio is 30%. My sales is 5 lakh. My PV ratio is 30%. What will be my contribution now? Very good, Prem. Very good, Julie. Very good, Jacob. Mohit, very good. Mahalakshmi, very good. Neeraj, very good. Almas, very good. Pawan, very good. Very good, everyone. Very good, everyone. Banipreet, Rohan, Samohini. So very simple, guys. My sales is 5 lakh. और contribution जो है sales का कितना percentage है? 30%. So very simple. My contribution will be how much? 5 lakh into 30%. Therefore, my contribution will be how much? 5 lakh into 30%. That is 1,50,000. Next question, guys. My sales is 6 lakh. My variable cost is 70% of sales. माई वेरिएबल कॉस्ट जो है मेरी सेल्स का 75% है. So what will be my contribution? Waiting for your answers. Very good, everyone. Very good. This is 6 lakh. Samohini, very good. 25% will be my PV ratio and balance will be my. So herein also, in this case also, see my sales was how much? 200 rupees. 120 was my variable cost and 80 was my contribution. My variable cost was 120 and my contribution was 80. So this was 40% of sales. So balance will be variable cost. That will be how much? 60% of sales. So sales के दो part होते हैं. Very simple. Variable cost and contribution. If variable cost is 70%, contribution will be 30%. If variable cost will be 80%, contribution or PV ratio will be 20%. If variable cost is 55% of sales, contribution will be 45%, or we can say PV ratio will be 45%. So see, my variable cost is 75%. So my PV ratio will be how much? 25%. I repeat again, अगर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट 75% होता है तो कंट्रीब्यूशन कितना हो जाएगा? 25%. And we have the sales, so 6 lakh is my sales, 25% is my PV ratio, so my contribution will be how much? Sales का 25% contribution है, so my contribution will be 1,50,000. Very good, everyone. Tanu, please recheck your answer. Rest everyone correct answer. One more question for you guys. My contribution is 1,20,000 rupees. My contribution is 1,20,000 rupees, and my PV ratio is, let's say, 25%. So what will be my sales? Yes, everything is correct. Very good, Jacob. Very good, Banipreet. Very good, Almas. Very good, Neeraj. Anil, correct answer. Mahalakshmi, correct answer. Julie Kumari, correct answer. Samohini, correct answer. Mohit Singh, waiting for your answers. Rest everyone correct answer. Very good, guys. Pawan Kumar, incorrect answer. Yes, Tanu, waiting for your answer. Mohit Singh, waiting for your answer. Shiv Chaudhary, waiting for your answer. Sneha, Almas, Pooja. Very good, everyone. So see, again, as I said, sales can be divided in two parts, variable cost and contribution. Sales is always 100. If the contribution is 25, then variable cost will be 75. Now, in the question, information is given about contribution 1,20,000. So see, 1,20,000 is my contribution. It is equals to how much? 25. So how much will be my sales? 100. So this will be 4,80,000. One more question for you guys. My variable cost is 1,80,000 and my PV ratio is, let's say, 25%. What will be my sales? Anil, please recheck your answer. Mohit Singh, please recheck your answer. Just writing the solution here. See, as I said, sales can be divided in two parts, that is variable cost and contribution. My variable cost contribution is 25%, so variable cost will be 75%. If my contribution is 25%, variable cost is 75%. Now, in this question, the information is given as regards variable cost, that is 1,80,000. So now 1,80,000 is equals to 75. So how much will be 100? So this will be 2,40,000. So please refresh your concepts, guys. The sales is always 100. If the contribution is 25%, variable cost will be how much? 75%. अब क्वेश्चन में जो है आपको क्या दिया हुआ है? कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं दिया है आपको, क्वेश्चन में वेरिएबल कॉस्ट गिवन है. So variable cost is how much? 1,80,000. So this 1,80,000 is equals to how much? 75. और आपको निकालना क्या है? Sales. That is equals to 100. So multiplied by 100 divided by 75. Anyone having any doubts or queries? Waiting for your queries. Pawan Kumar, I hope it is clear now. Tanu Vishwakarma, I hope it is clear. Mohit, Mr. Anil, I hope this part is clear now. Contribution is sales minus variable cost, Mohit. Great. So I request you guys to copy this explanation and all these questions for your reference, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy everything. Yes, Mr. Anil. It's up to you. There are many ways to solve the question, Samohini. One question can be solved using 2 to 3 ways. At the end of the day, end results matter. In which question, Anil, you are asking? See, again, I have explained this part in detail that the sales can be divided in two parts, variable cost and contribution. So if the PV ratio is 25%, it means the contribution is 25%. So my variable cost will be 75%. Now, इस क्वेश्चन में आपको वेरिएबल कॉस्ट गिवन है, कंट्रीब्यूशन गिवन नहीं है. So variable cost is 1,80,000. It is equals to how much? 75. So how much will be 100? 2,40,000. I hope it is clear, Mr. Anil. So now let's proceed further. Let's say my sales quantity is 500 units and the per unit selling price is rupees 10. So my total sales will be 5,000. My variable cost for these 500 units is, let's say, 7. So this will be 3,500 rupees. So my contribution will be how much? It will be 1,500 rupees. And contribution per unit will be how much? Now, first point is, what will be my PV ratio? Contribution divided by my sales into 100. So my contribution is how much? My contribution is 1,500 divided by 5,000 into 100. So this will be 30%. Now, a question for you guys. Let's say I change my quantity from 500 to 700. I change my sales quantity from 500 to 700. My question is, क्या PV ratio change होगा या नहीं होगा? Quick answer. Waiting for your answer. Don't do the calculation. If the quantity changes from 500 to 700, क्या PV ratio change होगा? Or it will remain same? So Anil will change, Prem Kumar, it will change, rest all no change. Very good, everyone. So, guys, let's do the calculation for your reference. 700 into 10, this will be 7,000. 700 into 7, that is 4,900. So, my new contribution will be 2,100. So, 2,100 divided by 7,000 into 100, that is 30%. So what we can see is even though the sales quantity is increasing or decreasing, the PV ratio will not change. But let's say if we change in selling price per unit, we change the selling price per unit from 10 to 9. क्या PV ratio change होगा? Yes. So see 9 minus 7 it will be 2. So 2 divided by 9 into 100. So 2 divided by 9 into 100. 1 second. So this will be 22 point. Very good, everyone. So what we can see is that if there is any change in sales quantity, अगर sales बढ़ती है या घटती है, if there is any change in sales quantity, PV ratio will remain unchanged. But if there is any change in selling price per unit, or we can say if there is any change in variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. So the major point is that this relationship should be constant. So the point is, I repeat again, if the sales quantity is changing, there will be no change in PV ratio. But yes, if there is any change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. So we can say one more formula for PV ratio we can say is contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit into 100. So, irrespective of the quantity, the point is that the relationship that is going to affect PV ratio is what? This one. That is the selling price per unit and the variable cost per unit. So, what we can say is very important, PV ratio will remain same at all the level of sales. So, my point is what you have to, what you have to assume when the question is silent. सो जब कभी भी क्वेश्चन साइलेंट है और सेल्स बढ़ रही है, इसका मतलब क्या है? क्वांटिटी इंक्रीज हो रहा है. इफ द सेल्स इज रिड्यूसिंग, वी कैन से द क्वांटिटी इज रिड्यूसिंग. सो इफ द क्वेश्चन इज साइलेंट and if the sales is increasing decreasing, we will assume that the quantity is increasing or decreasing. It means what? That the PV ratio is constant. So we can say PV ratio will remain constant at all the level of sales. However, if the question clearly specifies, अगर question clearly specify करता है कि there is a change in selling price per unit, there is a change in variable cost per unit, then only the PV ratio will change. So if PV ratio will remain constant at all the level of sales, if the question clearly specifies regarding change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, then only PV ratio will change. So if the question is silent, So if the question is silent, we will assume that the PV ratio will remain constant at all the level of sales. However, if the question specifies, if the question clearly specifies regarding change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, then only the PV ratio will change. So always do make a note of it that जब कभी भी question silent है, इसका मतलब क्या है? Silent regarding what? The variable cost per unit or selling price per unit, we will assume that they are constant and there is no change in PV ratio. However, if the question clearly specifies regarding the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. Anyone having any doubts or queries, waiting for your queries? I request you guys to copy this explanation, please. Again, don't try to take the screenshot. Do note down the concepts what I'm discussing. Concepts are the key. So whatever the concepts I'm discussing, do copy it and prepare your own notes that, okay, this is what I have understood from this concepts. What you will write, you will remember it forever. So instead of referring these notes, that notes, better prepare your own notes. Whatever I'm discussing, do write in your notebook. Apart from the explanation, what I have written, do write your comments also in your notebook that, okay, this is what sir taught and this is what I have understood from these concepts. Anyways, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy everything and you can prepare your notes in the meanwhile. I'm done with PV ratio. So now we are done with PV ratio. What is PV ratio? Profit volume ratio, contribution divided by sales into 100. It says that contribution जो है मेरी sales का कितना percent है. Apart from this, if the question is silent, you have to assume that it will remain constant. That is, PV ratio will remain constant at all the level of sales. So if the sales are increasing, it means the quantity is increasing. If the sales are reducing, it means the quantity is reducing. However, if the question clearly specifies regarding the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit, yes, the PV ratio will change. Now let's proceed further with the next part of the chapter, The second question what the examiner generally do ask is break even sales. When talking about break even sales, what is break even sales? That level of sales where there is no profit, no loss. Sales का वो level where there is no profit, no loss. Or we can say the level where we can say sales is equals to total cost. When talking about total cost, it is fixed plus. So what is break-even sales? That level of sales where there is no profit, no loss. Sales का वो level जहां पे हमें ना तो फायदा हो रहा है ना नुकसान हो रहा है. Or we can say the level of sales where we can say the sales is equals to what? My total cost. Let's take a question to discuss the concept of break-even sales. Let's say my sales is 200. My variable cost is 120. My contribution is same 40. Sorry, 80. My fixed cost is 40. And my profit is how much? 40. So, after making a sales of rupees 200, 200 rupees की sales करने के बाद, how much profit I am earning? Rupees 40. So, without using any formulas which you have learned previously, can you guys tell me what will be my break-even sales? See, after making a sales of 200, I'm making a profit of 40 rupees. So, can you guys tell me the sales where my profit will be zero? Waiting for your answers. Or can you guys tell me the sales where the sales is equals to total cost? As expected, Almas, I've got your answer. Bunny Preet got your answer. Mahalakshmi, Anil. Again, don't use the formulas, what you have learned previously. Same answers from everyone. I'm surprised that I've got the same answer from everyone. Nana, after making a sales of 200, I'm getting a profit of 40. So definitely the sales will be less than 200 because 200 की sales करते हैं हमें 40 rupees profit होता है. So definitely the sales will be less than 200. Okay, so I'm still waiting for your answers, Mr. Pawan Kumar, Sneha, Jayendra, Mahalakshmi, Tanu, Samohini, Mr. Mujahid, Naina, waiting for your answers. Okay, Naina, I've received your answer. Tanu also same answer. Samohini also same answer. So I got one answer from everyone, that is 160 rupees. I've got answer from everyone 160 rupees. So most of the students ने क्या calculation किया होगा कि sales is 200. If we reduce profit by 40, we will get 160. Or alternatively, most of the students, what they did, variable cost plus fixed cost, that is 120 plus 40, that is 160. So if the sales is 160, my profit will be zero. But very important, guys, this answer is incorrect. This answer 160 is incorrect. Now the question is why it is incorrect. So as I mentioned earlier also, very important, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज द कॉस्ट दैट वेरीज अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रोडक्शन। वेरिएबल कॉस्ट वो कॉस्ट है जो प्रोडक्शन के हिसाब से कम होता है। So very important, if we are manufacturing and selling 200 units, my variable cost is 160. If we are manufacturing and selling, sorry, 120. If we are manufacturing and selling 200 units, my variable cost is 120. So if we are manufacturing and selling 160 rupees, sorry, if we are manufacturing and selling, and if the total sales drop down by 40 rupees, it means what? My variable cost will reduce proportionately. Yes or no, guys? Herein, my sales is reducing. So it means what? मैंने यूनिट्स कम मैन्युफैक्चर और कम सेल किए होंगे तो माय वेरिएबल कॉस्ट विल रिड्यूस प्रोपोर्शनेटली. यस और नो? वेरी गुड एवरीवन. So as I said, very important, the relationship between sales and contribution, we call it as PV ratio, remain constant at all the level of sales. So अगर PV ratio constant रहेगा to all the sales, variable cost और sales का ratio भी constant रहेगा. So herein, my point is very simple. The relationship between sales and contribution. The relationship between sales and contribution को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? PV ratio. We call it as PV ratio. That is 80, sorry, writing the formula also, contribution divided by sales into 100. That is 80 divided by 200 into 100. That is 40%. It means my contribution will always be 40% of sales unless and until the question specifies the change in selling price per unit or variable cost per unit. So we can say if the contribution will always be 40% of sales, my variable cost will also be how much? 60% of sales. So herein, very good, Jacob, 100 rupees, not units. So herein we can say my variable cost will reduce proportionately. See, so my contribution, that is the relationship between sales and contribution, never changes if the question is silent. If the question is silent, PV ratio will remain constant. अगर sales कम हो रही है, इसका मतलब units कम हो रहा है, और units कम होने से contribution या PV ratio पे कोई impact नहीं आता. So herein, if the sales is reducing, my variable cost will reduce proportionately. So this will be 160 into 60%, that is 64. Sorry, 96. 160 into 40% will be my contribution. My fixed cost is how much? 40. See, fixed cost never changes. Variable cost keeps on changing, but fixed cost always remain constant. So as I said, the relationship between contribution and sales will remain constant at all the level of sales. So 160 into 40%, 64 will be my contribution. So my variable cost will reduce proportionately to 96 from 120. Now, as I said, fixed cost always remains same irrespective of sales. So my fixed cost, yes, it will remain same. So in this case, how much will be my profit? 24 rupees will be my profit. So we can say 160 is not my break-even sales. Now the question is, what will be my break-even sales? So now let's see. At break-even sales, my profit should be how much? 0. As I said earlier also, at break-even sales, wait Anil, at break-even sales, my profit will always be how much? 0. Now, fixed cost, as I said, it will always remain constant irrespective of sales. So my fixed cost will not change. So how much will be my desired contribution? This minus this should be 0. So if we get a contribution of 40, it means my 40 will be my fixed cost and 0 will be my profit. Now, this contribution and sales relationship never changes. So 40 is equals to how much? 40%. So how much will be 100? 100. So rupees 100 is the point where there is no profit, no loss. अगर हम लोग 100 रुपीज की सेल्स करते हैं, 100 रुपीज की सेल्स किया, So 40% will be my contribution. That is 40 will be my contribution. My fixed cost is also how much? 40 rupees. So my profit will be 0. So we can say at break-even sales, my contribution and fixed cost are all what? Same. So very simple, guys. At break-even sales, how we will calculate? 0 is my profit. 40 is my fixed cost. So my contribution will be how much? This minus this should be 0. So this will be 40. ये 40 कितने के बराबर है? 40% के बराबर है. Because question में कुछ भी नहीं बोला है. Selling price change हो रहा है या variable cost change हो रहा है. Nothing. The question is silent. It means this relationship is constant at all the level of sales. So 40 is equals to 40%. So how much will be 100%? 100 rupees. So my break-even sales will be how much? 100 rupees. So how I calculated? 0 is my profit. 0 plus 40. This is what we will get. That is contribution divided by 40%. 40 divided by, see, we did 40. See, we did 40 divided by 40%. How much we got this? How come we got this 40? 0 plus 40. Now 0 is what? Nothing, no value. 40 is what? My fixed cost. Divided by 40% is what? My PV ratio. So we can say the formula for break-even sales is how much? What is the formula? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So straight away, 40 divided by 40%, 100 rupees will be my break-even sales. I hope this part is clear. Everyone asking individually, guys. First and the foremost thing, आपने answer post किया 160. Now the first question is ये गलत क्यों था? I hope this part is understood. Why 160 is wrong? I hope you guys are thorough. Everyone. Yes, Mohit, Pawan, Naina, Jacob. My first question, why this answer is incorrect? 160C. Correct answer is secondary. But the first point is that the answer what you have posted, why it is incorrect. I hope this part is clear to all. Yes, Banipreet, Samohini, asking everyone individually. Now 160 is incorrect. That is clear. Now, what is the correct answer? I hope this part is clear. Again, don't try to memorize the formulas. Try to memorize the concept that at break even, my profit is 0. My fixed cost is always constant at all the level of sales. So if profit is 0, fixed cost is 40, how much will be my contribution? 40. 40 is equals to 40%. So how much will be 100%? 40 divided by 40%, 100 will be what? My sales. Yes, everyone. No, this approach is incorrect. See, 160, what you have done, Mahalakshmi, is that you have done fixed plus variable that is given in the question. But why it is incorrect? Because see, if the sales is reducing, the variable cost will also reduce. If the sales is reducing to 160, the variable cost will also reduce proportionately. That's why this 160 is incorrect. Yes, it is break-even sales in rupees, not in quantity, Mr. Anil. I hope this part is clear to all. Anyone having any doubt? Anyone having any query? Jacob, Mr. Jacob, can you please unmute? Admin sir, can you please unmute Jacob? Yes, Mr. Jacob, tell me where exactly you are finding difficulty. Mr. Jacob?
Yeah, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Good morning.
Your voice is echoing.
Hello. Is
Hello.
it
Yes.
audible now? Is it
Yes.
audible
Yes.
now?
Tell me. Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Good morning, sir. So the question is, sir, when the when we take profit as zero. So definitely the fixed cost, whatever it is, it becomes a
Your voice is
contribution
not audible.
indirectly.
Jacob, your voice is not audible because I think the voice is echoing.
Okay, so just 1 minute, I'll disconnect my Bluetooth.
Huh?
Hi, sir. Can you hear me now?
Now, loud and clear. Tell me.
Yeah, sir. So the question was when we take profit as zero. So yeah, definitely at break-even point, the profit is supposed
The
to be at
profit
zero.
is zero, right?
And
Okay,
then when we take your fixed cost, which is fixed as 40, the contribution indirectly becomes 40, right?
right.
And then when we are taking in the formula, why are we taking it
Again, see,
fixed cost?
40 is what my contribution. My first question, first thing what I want to explain is 40 is my contribution, right? Right?
No,
Right.
sir. I understood the concept, but what I didn't understand is the why they're taking fixed cost in the formula when we are taking contribution ratio in proportion to contribution, right? So it should be contribution
Okay, okay,
divided by
okay.
PV
Okay.
ratio.
Got it. Contribution divided by PV ratio. See, I have explained this part also. How come we got this contribution? 0 plus 40, we got this contribution, right? How we got this 40? Yes, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
How we got this 40?
It's a fixed cost.
Fixed cost plus zero profit.
Yeah, the contribution. Yes, sir.
So fixed cost plus zero profit divided by PV ratio, we can say it is break even sales.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
So zero has no value, so no need to write zero profit.
Yes.
So fixed cost divided by, see, I have mentioned here also. See, I have mentioned here also that how come we got this 40 zero profit plus
Plus.
40 fixed cost
Oh,
divided by
okay.
40%. Right?
Okay.
Now, since zero has no value, so straight away zero is what?
It's
My zero is what? My
okay.
profit plus 40 is what? My fixed cost divided by 40% is what? My PV ratio, right? So zero has no value. So why
No
to
value.
write zero? I hope it
Yes,
is
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
correct.
Definitely it got clear.
Again, don't try to memorize the formulas. Focus on the concept. How come these
No,
formulas are derived? I'll be discussing throughout these sessions.
no, sir. That's the entire reason as to why I questioned because I understood the concept, but then I didn't understand the formula as to why how it derived from. Because when we are taking contribution ratio, it should be contribution upon fixed cost. That how would we get break even sales if we go with the concept. But then in
Correct.
yeah, now I got it how you derived it from because when we take profit as zero, that's the desired profit at break even point, and then when we add fixed cost, it is equivalent to contribution.
Yes. So we can say that at break-even sales, the contribution and fixed cost are same, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Perfect.
Okay, sir.
Everything clear
Thank you,
now?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Anyone else with any doubts? Mr. Anil, that explanation is incorrect. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Anil, whatever the doubts you have, you can please post, or if you want, you can unmute yourself and you can speak up. That's okay. Okay. Admin sir, please unmute Anil.
Sir, what does it mean when we are dividing the PV ratio? Could you please explain?
यार आप सीधा सा फंडा है यार. The point is 40 is what my desired contribution, right?
Yes, sir.
और what is PV ratio? That contribution sales का कितना परसेंट है ये PV ratio बताता है, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
40% is what? My contribution to sales. So if 40, what is 40 rupees here? It is my contribution. It is equals to how much? 40%. ये 40 जो है किसके बराबर है? It is equals to
Sir,
what?
I don't know Hindi. I'm from Andhra actually.
Okay, no problem. So see, 40 rupees is what? My contribution, right?
Yes, sir.
And what is PV ratio? PV ratio says that what is the percentage of contribution to sales, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this 40 rupees is equals to 40. So how much will be 100? So it's a simple mathematics, Mr. Anil. I hope it is clear.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a mathematical part, not the costing part. It's a mathematics that 40 is equals to 40 of 100. So how much will be 100? See, one more thing, Anil.
Okay.
If you want to calculate the variable cost also, see, we have got contribution 40, right? It is equals to 40%.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we want to
We are
calculate
taking in a
sales,
proportionate manner.
yes, it is proportionate. If we want to calculate sales, we will multiply it by 100. Let's say if we want to calculate variable cost, 40 is how much equals to 40. How much is equals to variable cost? 60. So if we multiply it by 60, we will get the variable cost. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right? So if it is
Yes, sir.
equals to
Got it.
40, we will put it in denominator. And what we want to calculate, we will put it in numerator. So if we want to calculate sales, we will put sales in the numerator. Again, if we want to calculate variable cost, we will put the proportionate of variable cost in the numerator. So, and whatever it is equals to, we will keep it in the denominator. I hope it is clear now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I hope, Rohan, it is clear now. Yes, well said that at break-even point, contribution is equals to fixed cost. Anyways, guys, do copy this explanation. Whatever you have understood from these concepts, do make a note of it in your language that what you have understood. Again, instead of focusing on the formulas, focus on the concepts. The concepts are the key. These small concepts, okay, I'm devoting enough of time. The reason is that when the questions are on the trickier side, these concepts work. These silly things works that okay, at break even sales, the contribution and fixed cost are same. So all these point really works when the question is on the trickier side. So do copy the explanation and do write your comments in your notebooks that these are the additional points what I have learned from these concepts. Giving you 2 to 3 minutes time, we'll discuss few more points on break even sales. So giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy everything. So I hope you guys are thorough with what I have discussed till now. So now let's proceed further. One more question for you guys. Let's start. let's say my sales quantity is 500 units, selling price is 10, so my total sales will be 5,000 rupees. My contribution will be how much? 1,500 rupees. And my contribution per unit will be how much? Rupees 3. Now my fixed cost. Let's say my fixed cost is 900. So my profit will be how much? 600. The relationship between contribution and sales, we call it as what? PV ratio. That is contribution divided by sales into 100. So 1,500 divided by 5,000 into 100. So it comes to 30%. Alternatively, we can also 3 divided by 10 into 100 also we can calculate PV ratio. So 3 divided by 10 into 100, that is also 30%. Now, can you guys tell me what will be the break-even sales? Very good this time. Everyone correct answer. So very good, Almas, Neeraj, Jacob, Mahalakshmi, Samohini, Naina, Rohan, Mohit Singh. Yes, Pooja, waiting for your answer. Samrendra, very good. Bunnypreet, very good. So Miss Jeshnavi, waiting for your answer. Pawan Kumar, Prem Kumar, waiting for your answer. Shiv Chaudhary, I'm not getting answers from you, so do post your answer. Sneha Chawla, waiting for your answers. I want everyone to participate in the session. Jayendra, it is incorrect. Anil, it is incorrect. Prem Kumar, it is incorrect. Please recheck your answers. So see again the same concept. At break-even sales, the profit will be 0. My fixed cost will always remain constant. So my contribution will be 900. This 900 is equals to how much? 30%. So how much will be my break-even sales? 3,000 rupees. So again, what exactly I did? 900 divided by 30%, that is 3,000 rupees. So the same way, fixed cost divided by PV ratio. This is how we will calculate break even sales in rupees. Now see, we have got this break even sales 3,000 rupees. And I think I got correct answer from most of the students. Okay, Prem, very good. It is correct. Jayendra, your answer is incorrect. Please recheck your concepts. Now see, 3,000 rupees is my break even sales. Now see, this is what 3,000 rupees is what my sales, break even sales. And one unit is sold for how much? Rupees 10. एक यूनिट हम लोग कितने में सेल करते हैं? रुपीज 10 में. So how many units? Very simple, we can say if one unit is sold for 10, we can say we have sold how many units? 300 units. So if you are able to calculate it in rupees and the per unit price is given, you can easily calculate it in units also. Now there is one more way to calculate it in units. The same way, do pay attention again. See, let's say this is the pen manufacturing company. One pen is manufactured at a variable cost of rupees 7 and it is sold at the rate rupees 10. So per pen, how much I am recovering? Rupees 3. Now, what will be my first target? To recover 900 rupees. My first target will be what? To recover my fixed cost. So, per pen, I'm saving rupees 3. And how much I want to recover? 900. So, how many pens should I manufacture and sell? Very simple, 300 units. So, very simple, guys. If you want to calculate break even sales in units also, very simple. How much money you want to recover? 900 rupees. Per pen, how much I am getting after deducting the variable cost? 3 rupees. So how many units? 300 units. So the amount to be recovered is what? My fixed cost. And 3 rupees is what? My contribution per unit. So if you want to calculate break-even sales in units also, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. I hope this part is clear. How come this formula is derived? See, वो हमने 50,000 pens जो discuss किया था वो था क्या? Break-even sales. That is, a pen is manufactured at 8 rupees, sold for 10 rupees. Per pen I am recovering is rupees 2. So 2 was what? My contribution per unit. Now, overall I want to recover 1 lakh rupees. That is my fixed cost. So 1 lakh divided by 2, you got 50,000 pence. And I got correct answer from everyone. So 50,000 pence was what? My break-even sales. What you guys did? 1 lakh divided by 2. 1 lakh was my fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So similarly here also, 900 I want to recover divided by per pen I am getting is rupees 3. So fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. पवन कुमार 3000 में से 900 सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे तो 2100 आ जाएगा. If we subtract 900 from 3000, we will get 2100. I hope this part is clear. How come this formula is derived? I hope it is clear, Mr. Jacob. Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. See, again, don't try to memorize the formula. Try to memorize the concepts. That 900 I want to recover per pen. I'm recovering rupees 3. So 900 is my fixed cost. 3 rupees is my contribution per unit. So very simple, guys. If you want to calculate, yes, you can do. It's up to you, Anil. That's okay. So if you want to calculate break-even sales in rupees, it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. If you want to calculate break-even sales in units, it is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So this is all what about break-even sales. I hope you guys are thorough with what I have discussed till now, the concept part, and how come these formulas are derived. I hope you guys are thorough with this part. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. Again, do copy what I have discussed. Again, write your comments that how come these formulas are derived, what I have understood from this part. So giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy everything. So till now we discussed PV ratio and break-even sales. When talking about PV ratio, it is contribution divided by sales into 100. And when talking about break-even sales, if it is in rupees, it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. And if it is in units, it is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Anyone having any doubts till now, you guys can please post. So fine, guys. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with the remaining part of the chapter. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. Edwin, sir, everything is going smooth? Welcome back, my friends. So we are done with PV ratio and break-even sales. So let's start with the next part, wherein the third question, what the examiner generally do ask, is desired sales. Yes, Mr. Anil, your explanation is correct. Very good. So now let's start with desired sales. Let me discuss again this concept with the help of an example. Where in the same example, let's say my sales is 200. My variable cost is 120. The relationship between sales and contribution, we call it as PV ratio. That is contribution divided by sales into 100. So it is 80 divided by 200 into 100. Now, guys, at break-even point, my desired profit was what? 0 rupees. At break-even point, my desired profit was what? 0 rupees. Now, let's say on a particular day, I decide that at least I should earn a profit of, let's say, 600. On a particular day, I thought that if I want to earn a profit of 600 rupees, how much sales is required? In simple terms, मुझे कितना sales करना पड़ेगा to get a profit of 600? Very simple, guys. You will be able to solve this question. I'm waiting for your answer. The concept is just like break-even sales, wherein at break-even sales, my desired profit was what? 0. But now let's say if I want to earn 600 rupees, my final profit, how much sales is required to earn a profit of 600? Waiting for your answers. Please recheck your answer, Mahalakshmi. Very good, Samrendra. Very good, Almas. Very good, Prem. Pawan Kumar, please recheck your answer. Yes, Mr. Anil. Very good, Jayendra. Rest all waiting for your answer. Pooja, please recheck your answer. Neeraj Patel, very good, correct answer. Still, I have not received answers from many students. Samohini, Rohan Sahu, Jacob, Shiv Chaudhary, Mahalakshmi, Mujahid, Mohit Singh, waiting for your answer. Mohit, incorrect answer. Pooja, waiting for your answer. Mujahid, waiting for your... Bunny Preet, please recheck your answer. Tanu, please recheck your answer. Okay, so guys, the concept is same like break-even sales. How much I want to earn? 600 rupees. My fixed cost is how much? 40. So this minus this should be 600. So what will be my desired contribution? 640. 640 minus 40 will be 600. Now 640 is equals to how much? 40%. So 640 is equals to 40%. So 640 is equals to 40%. So how much will be 100? 1600. So 1600 is the correct answer, guys. Now, how come I got this 1600? Very simple. First, I got 640 divided by 40%. Now, how come I got 640? 40 plus 600 divided by 40%. 40 plus 600. This is how I got 640. 640 divided by 40%. You got 600. Now, how come I got 640? 40 plus 600 divided by 40%. Now, 40 is what? My fixed cost. 600 is what? My desired profit. Divided by what? 40% is what? My PV ratio. So 40 fixed cost, desired profit is 600 divided by 40%. It will be equal to 1600. So this is the way you guys have to solve. Okay, so Tanu, Bunnypreet and Mohit, what went wrong? Yes, Tanu, Bunnypreet and Mohit, what went wrong? Pooja, again your answer was incorrect. What went wrong? Can you please explain? I just want everyone to be thorough with the... Okay. I hope this part is clear to all. So when talking about the concepts are just like break-even sales. We will get this formula is for desired sales in rupees. So if you want to calculate desired sales in rupees, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. So 40 is my fixed cost. Desired profit is 600 divided by 40%. This is how we will get 1600 rupees. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post, waiting for your queries. In the meanwhile, I request you guys to please copy this explanation. I hope, Jacob, the concepts are clear. Mahalakshmi, Pooja, Tanu, Anil. I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts. Neha Chawla, Shiv Chaudhary. Very good, Naina. Ashwini Shetty, Santosh Das. I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts. So now let's proceed further. Yes, Anil. No worries, Rohan. That's okay. Now, again, the same question. So we have the PV ratio, that is 1500 divided by 5000 into 100, that is 30%. Now let's say my desired profit is, let's say, 3000 rupees. So how much will be my desired sales? Waiting for your answers. Very good, Neeraj. Correct answer. Almas, very good, correct answer. Prem Kumar, Mahalakshmi, everyone correct answer. This time I want correct answer from everyone. Samrendra, very good. Samohini, very good. Yes, Neeraj, Jayendra, Banipreet, Tanu, Jacob, Anil, very good. Naina, Prem Kumar, Mujahid, Mohit Singh, Shiv Chaudhary, waiting for your answer. Now, correct answer, Mohit, very good. Very good, correct answer. Pooja, correct answer. Tanu, waiting for your answer. Anil, waiting for your answer. Samrendra, waiting for your answer. Everyone correct answer. Very good, guys. So my desired profit is 3000 rupees. 900 is my fixed cost. So 3900 is what I want the contribution. This is equals to 30%. So this will be 13,000 rupees. So again, what I did, very simple. When you want to calculate desired sales in rupees, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. So 900 divided by 3000 divided by 1300 rupees. Sorry, 13,000 rupees. And since one unit is sold for rupees 10, so we can say 1300 units. I hope this part is clear to all. Very good, Naina. Tanu, please recheck your answer. I'm surprised you're not getting correct answers. I hope this concept is clear to you, Tanu. Yes, Tanu? Okay. Now we have calculated units also. Again, there is one more way to calculate units. The same way. See, I'm manufacturing this pen for rupees 7 and I'm selling it for rupees 10. So after recovering the variable cost, I'm getting rupees 3. Now, earlier in break-even sales, my target was to recover 900 only. In break-even sales, my target was to recover 900 only. Now, apart from 900, I want to recover additional 3000. So total I want to earn is 3900. 900 towards my fixed cost and 3000 towards my profit. So total amount I want to earn or I want to recover is 3900. And per pen I'm recovering rupees 3. So how many units? 3900 divided by 3, 1300 units. So if you want to calculate desired sales in units also, again the same way. Earlier we want to recover 900 only. So that was my fixed cost. Thereafter my demand increased and I want to earn 3000 rupees also. That is my desired profit divided by my per pen. I'm recovering how much? Contribution per unit, that is rupees 3. So 900 earlier I want to recover. Now I want to recover 3000 more divided by 3. So this will be 1300. Very good, everyone. So I request you guys to please copy this explanation. Do copy and again prepare your notes. What I have discussed in this concept, giving you 2 to 3 minutes time. So we are done with PV ratio, that is contribution divided by sales into 100. We are done with break-even sales, that is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. If you want to calculate break-even sales in rupees, it is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. If you want to calculate it in units, one second. Sorry. If you want to calculate it in units, it is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. For the desired sales, it is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio if you want to calculate it in rupees, and fixed cost plus desired profit divided by contribution per unit if you want to calculate it in units. So I hope you guys are thorough with the concepts. Now let's start with the next part, that is margin of safety. Or we can say safety margin. It says that how much you are safe from डेडलाइन ऑफ बिजनेस. आप बिजनेस की डेडलाइन से कितना सेफ हैं? When talking about deadline, it talks about break even sales. See, let's say right now I am on 5,000 sales. I am on a sales of rupees 5,000. Now this is my dead point. This is my dead point. Let's say 3,000 is my break even sales. If I cross this point, there will be a loss. So how much safe I am? 2,000 rupees. How much safe I am? 2,000 rupees. So this 2,000 is what my margin of safety says. So when talking about margin of safety, where we are standing, that is actual sales. My dead point of business, that is my break even sales. So if my actual sales is 5,000, my break-even sales is 3,000. So my margin of safety sales will be how much? 2,000 rupees. So when talking about margin of safety sales, it is actual sales minus break-even sales. There is one more formula for break-even sales. Sorry, margin of safety sales. See, actual sales, let's say this is my actual sales at break-even sales and at margin of safety sales. My actual sales is 5,000. My break-even sales is 3,000 and my margin of safety sales is 2,000. My variable cost at actual sales is how much? Let's say 3,500. My contribution is 1,500. My fixed cost is 900 and my profit is 600. My PV ratio is how much? 30%. How come I got this sales, break-even sales? Very simple. How come I got this break-even sales? That is 900 divided by 30%. I got 3,000 rupees. And how come I got margin of safety sales? That is actual sales minus break-even sales. That is 5,000 minus 3,000, that is 2,000. So this is how I got break-even sales and this is how I got margin of safety sales. I hope till now everything is clear. Anyone having any doubts? See, I repeat again, my actual sales is 5,000, my variable cost is 3,500, my contribution is 1,500, my fixed cost is 900, my profit is 600. So my PV ratio will be 1,500 divided by 5,000 into 100, so that is 30%. So my break-even sales will be 900 divided by 30%, that is 3,000. Actual sales 5,000 minus break-even sales 3,000, so 2,000 will be my margin of safety. So this is how I got this 3,000, 2,000. Now, when let's prepare this table for break-even sales also. So 3,000 into 30%, that is 900 will be my contribution. 900 is my fixed cost, that is constant. So this will be 0. And this will be 2,100. Now, very important, guys. Break-even sales is what? That after recovering the variable cost, we are able to recover the fixed cost. एक बार अगर हमने fixed cost recover कर ली, then we are safe. So once we complete the sales of 3,000 और fixed cost is already recovered, so 3,000 से extra जो भी sales करेंगे उससे जो contribution आएगा वही profit होगा. I repeat again, once we cross this sales of 3,000, whatever the amount I am getting after recovering my variable cost, that will be my profit because fixed cost is already recovered. At 3,000 sales, fixed cost is already recovered. So see, for these 2,000 sales, my contribution will be how much? 2,000 into 30%, that is 600. And this will be 1,400. My fixed cost is already recovered. So my profit will be 600. This is how I got this profit of 600. Because the total sales is 5,000. Of this, 3,000 sales is to recover fixed cost and balance 2,000 sales is what? To recover my additional, to get my profit. So what is this 600? The profit once we cross break-even sales. So we can say once we cross break-even sales, the extra contribution, what we get is what? Profit. What is profit actually? What is profit? The contribution over and above fixed cost. I repeat again, what is profit? The contribution over and above fixed cost is what? My profit. So when talking about margin of safety, जो contribution आता है वही हमारा क्या होता है profit. So we can say one more formula is there for margin of safety, that is profit divided by PV ratio. What is profit actually? In simple terms, contribution above fixed cost. The total contribution is 1500. 900 we are recovering towards fixed cost, and 600 we are getting as profit. So 900 divided by 30%, we will get break even, and 600 divided by 30%, we will get margin of safety. See, 900 divided by 30%, we will get break even sales, and 600 divided by 30%, we are getting margin of safety. So ultimately, we are breaking down contribution in two parts: the contribution for break-even sales and the contribution for margin of safety. So there is one more formula: profit divided by PV ratio. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. I repeat again. See, I've explained also. Once you cross break-even sales, see, let's say the same example, I'm manufacturing and selling pens. The 8 rupees is the variable cost, 10 rupees is what my selling price. So per pen, I'm recovering rupees 2. My total fixed cost is 1 lakh rupees. So how much pens I have to manufacture and sell for break even? 50,000 pens. Now at 50,000 pens, we are already recovering our fixed cost. Once 50,000, once the sales cross 50,000 pens, let's say 50,001 pen. So extra rupees 2 is what? My contribution and profit. Let's say if I sell 51,000 pen, तो 50,000 pens तक तो हमारा क्या हो गया? Break even sales. For that extra 1,000 pen, how much I'm getting? Rupees 2 per pen. So 2,000 will be my profit. So my point is very simple. Once you cross break-even sales, the extra contribution what we are getting is what? The profit. Because एक बार अगर fixed cost recover हो गया, so the extra contribution what we will get is what? Profit. I hope this part is clear to all. Yes. So the sales over and above break-even sales is what? Margin of safety. The contribution over and above fixed cost is what? My profit. So the contribution till the fixed cost, we will get break even sales. The contribution over and above fixed cost, we will get margin of safety sales. I request you guys, please copy this explanation. I'm not getting what you are saying, Mohit. PV ratio, why? Because contribution is equals to PV ratio. If contribution is given, PV ratio is what? PV ratio is what? The percentage of contribution to sales. Contribution sales का कितना percentage? That PV ratio, basically we call it as PV ratio. So if we have contribution, if we have PV ratio, we can calculate sales. But yes, Anil, at break-even sales, Rohan Sao, see, very simple, my dear. My actual sales is 5,000. 3,500 is my variable cost. 1,500 is my contribution. 900 is my fixed cost, and 600 is my profit. Now, at break-even sales, we recover our fixed cost. See, my total sales is 5,000. My total contribution is 1,500. Of this 1,500, 900 is my fixed cost. 600 is what? My extra contribution over and above fixed cost. So to recover 900, we will make break-even sales. But once the contribution crosses 900, the extra contribution over and above 900 is what? My profit. Fixed cost is already recovered at break-even sales. Once you cross break-even sales, there will be no fixed cost. I hope it is clear. Rohan, Banipreet, Anil. See, 600 is what? What is this profit? profit, what is profit basically? Contribution above fixed cost. So 600 is equals to how much? 30%. So this is why, that's why I've written 600 divided by 30%, you will get margin of safety. Rohan, I hope this part is clear. My total sales is 5,000. At break-even sales, we have already recovered our fixed cost. So once my fixed cost is recovered, the contribution over and above fixed cost we will be getting is what? Profit. So we can say contribution को हम लोग एक और चीज बोल सकते हैं. I mean profit को हम लोग एक और चीज बोल सकते हैं. The extra contribution over and above fixed cost. The point is when my total fixed cost, see Tanu, very simple. My fixed cost is how much? 900. To recover 900, how much sales is required? 3,000. Once you cross 3,000, your fixed cost is already recovered. See, take the same example that at 50,000 pence, we were able to recover our fixed cost. Once the sales cross 50,000, let's say if I'm manufacturing and selling 52,000 pens, the same example, extra 2,000 pens per pen, how much I'm getting? Rupees 2. So 4,000 will be my profit. I hope it is clear, Tanu. Anil, Jacob, Mohit, Bunnypreet, any doubts? If you guys want to speak up, you guys can please raise your hand. You can unmute and you can speak. I hope you are thorough with the concept, Bunnypreet. Rohan, this is not actually, Mohit, it is very easy. Not even you can say that it's on the difficult side. I'll be putting up many questions in front of you, and trust me, try to solve these questions. You will feel much better, Mohit. Yes, you can say, Anil. Asking individually, yes, Jacob, Almas, Samrendra, Jayendra, Tanu, Bunnypreet, Neeraj, Rohan, Mujahid, Pooja, Shiv Chaudhary, Pawan Kumar. I hope it is clear to all. Yes, Jacob. Any doubts? Thank you so much, Jacob. So now, guys, we are done with the basic part of the chapter, the very basic part. Again, these concepts, what I have discussed, will apply throughout the, I mean, ye jo sare concepts, whatever I have discussed, again, the concepts will be same for the coming 3 sessions, wherein I'll be using these concepts in a modified way. So I request you guys to memorize the concepts and do revise what I have discussed in this session, because in the coming session, it's like it's the time for the payback. I'll be putting up many questions in front of you and I want correct answers from everyone. So just revise what I have discussed in today's session. And I think the next session is on Thursday. So on Thursday, I'll be discussing variety of questions on the concepts I have discussed today. Few straight questions, few tricky questions, just to refresh your concepts, just to improve your concepts. I'll be putting up variety of questions. Thank you so much, Pawan. So come prepared in the coming session. Do revise what I have discussed. Don't read anything else apart from the concepts what I have discussed in today's session. I'm not saying that, okay, don't refer. I mean, it's like as of now, just revise what I have discussed in today's class. In the coming class, we will be discussing variety of questions. So Just come prepared. 1 second. I'll be guiding you also. Don't worry, Samohini. Yes, Samohini, wait. Jacob, in the last session, I'll be guiding you. Still, if you want a personalized session, just write a mail cma-inter@icai.in. I'll be addressing whatever the queries you have. Don't worry, I'm there till the last date of your exams. So even one day before exams, if you have any queries, just drop in a mail. I'll be there to address all your queries. So don't worry. I'm there for all the chapters, be the chapters I have discussed or be the chapters I have not discussed. For each and every chapter of costing, I'm there for you. Don't worry, guys. But the point is, focus on the concepts rather than memorizing the formulas. Try to solve as many as possible questions in writing. As of now, not for today, but yes, for the previous chapters I have discussed. So, guys, do revise what I have discussed. See you guys in the next session with variety of questions. Till then, take care. God bless you. Thank you so much for your time, patience, and for active participation in the session. See you in the next class. Take care, guys. Admin sir? Yes, sir.